there are parts of the world where people have been wearing masks well before COVID to combat traffic pollution and the rest. Do you think that mask wearing may become just not necessarily the norm, but more people might do it? And also that people will wash their hands more, which they ought to, shouldn't they? Number of young men I see, well, not just young men I see coming out of a public toilet who haven't washed their hands, running after them saying, "Excuse me," Yeah.
No, I think I don't want to go along the route of like stereotypes or anything, but I think everyone has washed their hands more, or all of us, even those of us that washed their hands previously. People have been washing their hands and using sanitizer all throughout the day, which would never have happened to the same extent. And I think the same with wearing a mask. That I think a lot more people will feel more comfortable wearing a mask. Before it would have been something that people would sort of like probably start pointing a finger at people wearing a mask. Why are they wearing a mask? And I remember at the beginning, our 7-year-old said to me, why are those people wearing a mask for me? Why are they wearing them? Why aren't the other people wearing them? But I think it will just become a lot more common now. And I think there will be benefits. When we think about air pollution, etc., it obviously does have an impact. And the number of people in Hull that have high numbers of people with COPD. And I think in terms of thinking about perhaps the benefits of wearing a mask and the comfort of wearing a mask, I think there will be a lot more people wearing masks in the future.
Can I ask you how you stay positive in all this? Because this is something that hit you and your department, out of the blue, and you could certainly have done without this, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I think we all could have, it has been a really challenging year, and I'll openly admit that at times I have struggled with my own mental health and well-being, and it's been a tough year, and I know that that's the same for a lot of people. I'm lucky, go home to an excitable 7-year-old whose enthusiasm for life hasn't been quashed by COVID at all. So that's one of the main ways that I can switch off from the sort of like grim reality of COVID. And do drawings and playing and dancing, whatever else. And I also find music really relaxing. So listen to the music that I love and finding new music. And then also really just keeping in contact with friends, which I've done as much as ever this year. Humour is just the best way for us to get through, I think. And if you can keep on, laughing and smiling about things, even if they're, really, can be a little bit bleak. But I think, that's the sort of like dark humour that British people, are really good at. And also just sort of like, seeing the funny side of things and, basically keeping yourself going with that humour. I think that's been something that myself and friends have found is really, really important. Just being a bit daft sometimes, because I think you have to remember that as terrible as this year's been, that actually what's really important to all of us is that life can still be fun, and it's a lot less fun not seeing each other. But there's still ways of having that connection with people that's so important to all of us.